Greetings. This week, I'm not here on Tuesday, as you know, and my activity for you, which is going to turn into the homework for this week, in addition to the projective geometry, which I'll talk about more on Thursday, but this one you can start, is going to be something that hopefully will be of benefit to you outside of this class, as well as for this class, of course. I'm going to have you work to construct two causal loop diagrams based upon one of the propositions that is in the California state election that hopefully you're all voting in currently or will soon. And I happen to pick two propositions, one of which I will actually work through as best I can to show you what I'm more or less how you might approach it. And the idea is to create one causal loop diagram that reflects somebody who's supporting the ballot, whatever the initiative is, and another one reflective of somebody who is opposing the ballot. Rather than somebody, I should say all of the arguments that are in support of or opposed to the ballot that you will have before you. Now I'm picking two of them. One of the one I'm picking to work on to show you is the one about kidney dialysis. It is proposition number 22. Actually, excuse me, proposition 23. And I scanned that proposition, and you can read it and look it over. Maybe you already have, if you've already voted, or if not, you can look at it. You know, it's a little. It attempts to break the arguments down in here in terms of those who support and those who oppose the ballot. Then, for your actual activity, I put another one up here. You're welcome to use any of these, by the way, if you have a copy of your own. I didn't scan the whole thing. But I scanned another one, which is about the Uber and Lyft drivers, basically the ride apps, in terms of whether or not they should have benefits. That proposition. So your goal would be to construct a causal loop diagram for whether they should or should not have benefits based upon this proposition and the information that's in it. Your goal here is not necessarily to advocate for or against it, but to come up with the arguments of those who are, to construct what you believe the causal loop diagram represents in terms of somebody in support or opposed to one of these measures based upon all of the information. So that's in here. While you're doing this, it'll be important to note what information you don't have in the causal loop diagram. There's some assumptions, there's some statements made in here. That's a useful thing to consider as you're constructing your diagrams, and I'll do my best to put that in there. The other thing I'll say about this is the causal loop diagrams, I think, provides an avenue for us to get a better understanding of what's written in here. It helps us think about it in a different way, and I'm hoping that this will help you with that. What these don't do, sometimes it's difficult for me to see the systemic nature in some of the propositions, at least certainly one like kidney dialysis. I like to see where feedback comes into play, and you don't always see that in this. You get a lot of what I call the deadheads, where one thing affects another, the end, and you don't necessarily see how that may come back. But if you can see that, by all means, put it in. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for, okay, how does something come back and affect something else so that I can make a reasonable causal loop diagram to illustrate that. All right, you'll see more in the example I give, but you could even consider getting started on this if you would like. If you want to take a look at the any of the ballot measures, except for the kidney dialysis one, because I'll be doing that one. Pick any one you want, but I did scan the Uber and Lyft one and posted it on this week's iLearn, so you're welcome to look at that one if you don't have any others or access to any others. But like I said, you're welcome to look at any of the ballot measures and come up with two causal loop diagrams. All right. Good luck to you on that.